So I have a question. What was it like for you to fly in 309 today?
For me, it was very emotional. I knew that as we were coming in on approach, that it was the last time I was ever going to get to fly in a Huey. But it was the last time of many, many times that I've flown in a Huey. And I got a little emotional there for a minute. I had to think about it. Because I flew a lot of hours, probably 400, 500, 600 hours on a Chinook in the Army Reserve after I got out of the Army. But my heart is still with a Chinook. I mean, with a Huey. I just love them. They're the sports car of the Army set.
What I like to say about being here, for those of us who have a deep emotional attachment to the Huey, is that emotions here are acceptable and to be openly expressed. They don't need to be suppressed or squashed. We're all human beings, and we all have that stuff, and we're really too old to hide that shit anymore anyway. So,
Okay then, Wayne, I'm pissed off at you. Fuck off. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that.
I wasn't talking about those kind of emotions, Jeff. So what was it like for you, Ian?
Well, today was a bit more special because Andy was flying.
Yeah, I could tell the difference.
Yeah, we were out of trim the whole time.
No, it's just it was like being back there and having
I noticed that he liked to hear it pop.
having an Aussie up front, an Aussie on the gun, American up front, and then another American on the gun. That was basically how we flew up there most times. So it was a bit of deja vu.
I enjoyed it. One thing I kind of liked was just you could feel the air up there with the open doors and stuff. And it felt very familiar with the wind blowing around, and anything you left, if it wasn't tied down, would be out the door and stuff like that. It was very, very realistic. It wouldn't have been half as good with the door shut or something like that. It was just sitting there looking out the door, and it's an experience that probably we won't be having too much of because the Hueys are kind of going by the board. They're fewer and fewer. Do not make when they made the last one.
To come over here and have another fly after so many years of not flying anything, has been an amazing experience, boots and all. And now that I've had a few hours in the machine, I'm starting to fight with the AC about
Give it to me.
how much time he's letting me have on the stick.
I heard that.
Like I'm trying to do it, and he's got his hand on it, and I'm going, let go.
We're not going to 8,000 feet, Andy.
Yeah, it's just it's just such an amazing feeling to be doing it, and then to be doing it in this setting with this crew. It's just it's an amazing feeling. And to be sitting here with you blokes and all smiling and looking at these old photographs and I remember you when you were that skinny, and it's just it's hard to put into words.
Sure is. Sure is.
That's why they don't call it words; they call it feelings. Yeah. It's just fabulous to be here, to be doing it, for me to be doing it again, sitting up the front. But just to be doing it, it really makes you feel alive. Yeah.
All this trouble, all this friggin' work just to make you feel alive.
Thanks, Bob. You're a bloody good bloke.
Thanks a lot.
Don't listen to anything that other people say.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
Is there anything you'd like to say, Jeff, about today or anything?
Today was good. It's always good to have 135th people. We've done these sorts of things for other units. John, was it
No,
No, it was Steve's
Steve's
unit.
unit.
Had a bunch of people here from his unit, which was up north and totally unrelated to us, but Steve Rodriguez is one of my volunteers, and similar kind of turnout, about the same number of people, and it was very nice. We have yet to have any from John's, because I don't think John actually had a unit. He had a unit in his imagination, I think. But yeah, for me, flying with Andy in front and my son on the right, you can imagine the time warp of that, since Andy and I probably flew 500, 600, 700 hours together in 6 months, probably more, because that was a heavy time. That summer of '70 time was a heavy light time, while the invasion of Cambodia was going on. So having,
What a cluster that was.
yeah, so having my son and Andy in it is quite something for me. It's really something. I'm not sure it's worth having the rest of you people after this, but it's pretty nice. Actually, I'm really happy. The whole reason we did this, if we had a reason, my partner is not here today because he's fighting fires in Oregon. He and I did this together. He was also a 135th guy, Peter Olesko, and Peter and I flew together for a long time. Anyway, but we decided to do this in '03, and then my son and Peter and I and a couple other volunteers took this aircraft apart and put her back together, and it's been a hell of a lot of work and a long time now since we did that. But it's what's unspoken here is that my son and I and Peter and other volunteers are here every Saturday all year round to keep her airworthy and to fly her. And then more than that, in the off season, we spend more time than that when we take stuff apart and do inspections and things. Sometimes I think people on the outside don't understand the flat out amount of commitment and work it takes to keep one of these operating now that she's 45 years old or 48 years old. So it's a lot of work. Anyway, but we appreciate it and we do it for these kind of things. That's what it's for. She's done, it's the only one we ever found that had the, we've looked through a lot of photographs, had the shiny vertical fin. And if anybody knows, this is a good thing to put out to all you guys, because you guys were there a little before me and Peter. Peter got there in July of '70, I got there in April. Anybody knows who took the paint off of the vertical fin on 309? We'd kind of like to know. We don't know. But it's the only Huey we've ever seen that had that done. When I got to the first platoon, I was noticing in the yearbook you guys have from '69, the first platoon had the yellow and black accent on the vertical fin, and we had all of them done that way. Except 309, which was the first platoon ship, she had the aluminum. All the rest of them had the yellow and black V. Somebody sent some stuff to, what's his name, the guy that runs the television network, Ted, whatever his name was. Turner. He did a lot of video stuff for Veterans Day and Memorial Day things through the 80s and 90s, and he was using a 135th video that someone had sent him. So I started noticing, wait a minute, I recognize some of these aircraft, and it turned out it was I think it was yours, or Terry Mazzara, who's the guy that died after you guys were there.
Wayne and I go way back.
We got in a lot of trouble together.
No, I got in trouble. man.
Sorry for that.
You skated. I'm really amazed that I was in a combat unit that was half Australian Navy. That was just outstanding. I've never talked to anybody. I mean, everybody I've ever told about this, they just go, "You gotta be kidding me, man." And I even probably throw in what kind of underwear they wore. Just for the hell of it.
I was worried about
It was a really cool unit, and I remember they used to tell us that EMU stood for Experimental Maintenance Unit, when EMU is actually, and Andy brought this up last week, only the military would do this, and EMU is actually a big, stupid, flightless bird. That was our mascot, an emu. Think about it. And
Jerry, we did teach them how to drink, though.
No. You know what? I'm not sure we taught these dudes anything. I'm really not. I'm not sure we taught them anything. I learned from them more than they did from me, I'm sure. It's a big world. It's a big world, and I don't know, if I had to do it again, I would probably pick that unit. And like I said, I still dream about flying sometimes. I still dream about low leveling along a river, man, early in the morning. Sun just coming up, listening to the radio on your helmet. No. And I remember a flight going through a really gnarly, we were like in a tunnel with hooches on the right and a bluff on the left and trees overgrown, and we were just pounding in a line through this thing, and we were pounding so hard that, like, there were guys shooting at us every once in a while, on my side anyway. And by the time I saw it, we were like way the hell down here. We were just pounding. It was just, we were flying in a tunnel. I don't know why, but things like that. Anyway, I'm an ex-EMU, and I'm proud of it.
Bob, anything else you can say? Have you
Well,
regrouped a little?
It's hard to express how you really do feel when you're in it. For me, I had an adrenaline rush. I kind of felt high almost. Some of the things that you go through in your mind about, because I only flew ash and trash, but even if you didn't fly as a door gunner, no matter where you went, you always got a ride with a Huey. If you were out in Black Horse, you took a Huey to Benoit or Long Bend, and the doors were open. We didn't have to wear seatbelts then, but you know.
You get up and
And-
walk around.
And if it wasn't for crew chiefs and door gunners that would tell you, oh, you don't have to worry about falling out, the centrifugal force will keep you there.
Bullshit.
Well, you know, I never, I've seen grunts that we picked up that had their legs hanging out,
Well, yeah,
and
you can still fall out, dude. You can
But-
still fall out.
the only ones that I remember falling out
People who,
were Vietnamese that didn't want to jump off. They wanted to get back on the plane.
Push them, man.
Yeah. But when I remember Bearcat, it was the 9th Infantry there, and
Yeah.
we pulled support for them. I did, I liked the 11th Cav, Black Horse. I mean, to me, I thought we were bad because we had General Patton's
Yeah.
group with us.
Excuse me, gentlemen, we're
Sluggo, it's been a pleasure,
half
bro.
an hour overdue.
Do you want me
Picking
to
up
tell the
on-
police that you're coming
No,
Wednesday?
no.
Don't.
All right, Aaron. Good to
Hey,
see you
hey,
again.
we'll stay on
Yep,
the
we'll be on
Facebook,
there.
and I'll be,
See you, big fella.
See you on the
I'll
flip
see
side,
you,
Sam, when I get home.
Yep, okay. Jeff,
See you.
again, man,
Always good.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
see you later,
Buddy.
Papa.
You will.
Yeah.
Ian,
See you, man. I may see you, Bob, but I need to hear from you.
Yeah, that's okay.